Now, since President Donald Trump returned to the White House in January, Ukraine peace talks have seen some pretty dramatic twists and turns. 6 phone calls between Donald Trump and Putin and a meeting with President Zelensky. And yet, after Trump and Putin's long-awaited face-to-face summit on the 15th of August in Alaska, there is still no ceasefire deal. And now President Zelensky is headed to Washington on Monday. But what, if anything, can emerge from the meeting that still remains uncertain? On Friday, President Trump had rolled out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin to a joint base Elmendorf-Richardson near Anchorage in Alaska, complete with the F-22 fighter jets, a B-2 bomber flyover, smiling handshakes and even a ride together in the Beast. Now, despite the dramatic fanfare and the affable moments, the meeting ended without a clear deal, no ceasefire and no agreement. So there was just some vague language about progress being made, about understanding and also making some headway in the talks. Although Trump did speak about making no deal and also put the onus on Ukraine to reach a ceasefire agreement with Russia.
I want to see if we can get it done. You know, it's not a done deal at all. And we agreed on a lot of points. I mean, a lot of points we're agreed on. But there's not that much. There's, 1 or 2 pretty significant items, but I think they can be reached. Now it's really up to President Zelensky to get it done.
Now, on the other hand, Putin offered some pretty cautionary language, saying that the peace demands addressing the underlying root causes of the conflict, a long-standing line that is used to justify Russia's actions, while also urging Europe and Ukraine not to throw wrenches into any emerging progress. He implied that he's open to security guarantees for Ukraine, but has reiterated Russia's conditions remain non-negotiable without changes to blocking Ukraine's path to NATO and demilitarizing Kyiv. Symbolism and fanfare held sway in Alaska, but the big question, of course, is the ceasefire, which remains unanswered. Donald Trump has said that the next move is up to President Zelensky, who will fly to Washington on Monday for talks at the Oval Office. Now, Trump contends a peace agreement and not just a ceasefire could end the war. And the European leaders are also calling for a trilateral summit with Ukraine being present at the table. And at that meeting on Monday, the 2 leaders are expected to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine, the possibility of territorial compromises, and also a roadmap for formal 3-way peace talks. Now, President Zelensky has drawn a bold red line. In a statement, he has said that Ukraine will not ease its pressure on Moscow as long as Russian aggression and occupation continues. Following closely watched summit in Alaska, Zelensky has warned that Ukraine's position has not shifted an inch. He has said that the Ukrainians are not fighting merely for a truce or for a pause that Russia could later exploit with yet another invasion. And what Kyiv is demanding is a peace that is real, durable and permanent. He's also firmly rejected any territorial swapping, insisting that no part of Ukraine's land can be negotiated away. And Ukrainians have reacted with skepticism to the US-Russia summit in Alaska. They say that it is pretty hard to understand how the Russian president was welcomed in the United States. Listen in.
There are no results. I am very surprised that Trump, the leader of an international police force, a country which is always trying to maintain order in the world, meets with a terrorist who is being wanted by the whole world. He is trying. It's just strange. There are not any results and we don't know if there will be, although we always expect something and hope for it.
First of all, we don't know anything about it. Nobody knows if they have agreed what they agreed on. I know that Putin is one of the best negotiators. That's all, nothing else. Well, they didn't agree on anything, and Putin won this meeting 100%.
It's good that they met, at least. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that they did not come to any decision. They talked, and then Trump talked with Zelensky, and we will wait for the results. But we hope for the meeting where there will be 3 sides, including European leaders, maybe something will happen.